There are hundreds of boring business models that are quietly making everyday people into millionaires. And the best part, they're all AI proof, and most people don't know just how simple it is to actually get started. For each of these 7 businesses, I'm also going to break down the real numbers, then drop it into a tier list at the end with my honest take. That way we can find out which one in 2026 ranks at the top. I personally made over $2 million in total sales running these kinds of businesses for myself, and have narrowed it down to the top 7 businesses to start. Starting with the first one, which is one everyone's seen on TikTok. Most people pitch it as a side hustle, but there are real operators doing up to $15,000 a month with it, sometimes even more. Mobile car detailing. The whole business is 3 steps. You drive to the customer, you detail their car in their driveway, and you leave, they pay. Most solo operators can do about 2 to 3 cars per day. So if you were to do the quick math on this, if you did 2 cars a day, 5 days a week, you're already at $3 to $6K a week gross. It costs about $3,000 for the equipment you need. So all in, your business is ready to go for under $4,000. And on a per job basis, every detail is going to be in the range of $150 to $300, depending on the package, depending on the car, and after supplies and gas, and can be netting $8,000 to $15,000 a month. Now, what I like about this business is that it cash flows pretty much as fast as anything on this list. Your truck is pretty much your office. You don't need a shop. You don't need a warehouse. And on top of that, what I love is it's a big referral business. So if you do a good job, that one customer turns into many. Over time, you can really reduce your marketing, which will increase your profit margins. Now, some of the cons is that it's brutal on your body, right? Any detailer that's been doing this long enough is going to have shoulders, knees, back problems, and you cannot scale without hiring. And detailers are some of the hardest people to retain. The other factor is, depending on where you live, weather and seasonality can play a role. So that can create some volatility within your revenue month to month. Now I'm putting mobile detailing in the A tier. Strong cash flow, low startup, but hard on the body, tougher to scale. Now this next one, this is probably one that 90% of the gurus in the space tell you to start with. And honestly, they're wrong about most of it, and let me show you why. Vending machines. So the pitch is simple. You buy machines, you place them in high traffic locations, you restock them, you collect the cash. That's the whole business. Now that sounds passive, and it can be, but there's a massive but coming. So if we were to break down the numbers on a per machine basis, it costs about $3,000 to $5,000 per machine. Most people are going to need a few machines to get going on the cash flow side. Now the revenue per machine is around $300 to $800 per month, depending on the location quality. A machine in a quiet office lobby, you're probably at a couple $100 and potentially even failing. Margins are going to be around 30 to 50% after the cost of goods, the restocking, the location commissions. Landlords and property managers are going to take 10, 20% of all commissions. So you need to scale to 10, 20 machines before you're really netting, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Now, the things I do like about it, it is relatively passive compared to some other businesses where there's more management, right? There's no clients to manage. The cash flow is pretty immediate as well. There's not any invoicing. It's pretty easy to scale. Now, what I don't like about it is that location is the entire business, and every good location is already owned by somebody that's doing a ton of machines. The payback period itself is a long time. It's not something that you're cash flowing immediately. You're investing to future cash flow. So vending is going to go in the D tier. The capital requirement plus the location game, I think, makes it a bad starting point for almost anybody, and I do not recommend that. Now this next one, this is one that nobody's really talking about, and the numbers are honestly pretty nuts. Parking lot striping. You restripe and reseal commercial parking lots. Think strip malls, office complexes, apartment buildings, churches, hotels, things like that. Every single one of these lots needs a refresh every 1 to 2 years. And here's the kicker. It's B2B and recurring. Now, in terms of startup costs, it's probably around $15,000 to $40,000 for the equipment. You need a striping machine. You need a seal coat sprayer. You're going to need some truck of sorts to put that in. But once you have those things, you're pretty much good to go. Average job is going to be around $2,000 to $5,000, depending on the size of the lot. And the margins are around 50 to 70%. So if you were a solo operator with maybe one other helper, you could do $20,000 to $50,000 a month during a busy season. Now, what I like about this business is the recurring revenue aspect. The same lot that you do is going to need it again 1 to 2 years. The other thing I like is B2B clients typically don't have payment delinquencies, right? So if you have an invoice to a property management group, you're going to get paid net 30 every single time. You're not going to have to wonder where it is. What I also like is that it has low competition. In a couple years, you're going to be ahead of all these operators. Now, what I don't like about this business, again, seasonal. Depending on where you're at, those climates are not going to be conducive for you running this type of business. Property management groups aren't like rushing to get this done. So it's not going to be something where you're going to get the transactions happening immediately. When you do this type of business, usually you have to do it during off hours. Think nighttime, right? When there's no cars on the lot. Otherwise, it's going to create a lot of parking issues whenever you're dealing with a busy center. So striping is going to go in the A tier. Strong B2B model, real recurring revenue, low competition, but the seasonality are definitely challenges depending on where you're living. So the next one is called packouts, and most people have never heard of this business. Packouts are basically estate cleanouts. You're cleaning out after foreclosures, hoarder homes, houses of people who have passed away, properties going to auction. You're gonna need around $5,000 to $10,000. You definitely need to have a pickup truck. You're gonna need a trailer. You're gonna need some basic equipment. You're gonna need dollies. So a solo operator with maybe one helper can do around 10 to 25K per month. So packouts are gonna go in the B tier. The economics are great, especially on the resale stuff, but the lifestyle and the work itself are probably not for most people. Now, the next one I've been researching for a while, hourly rate they charge, is definitely gonna blow your mind. Biohazard and crime scene cleanup. So you're gonna be cleaning up crime scenes, unattended deaths. Two things make this completely different from anything on the list. Number one, insurance pays, and number two, you need a certification that typically costs a few $1,000s and a few weeks of training. So that certification is the moat on the business. Now, in terms of startup costs, it's anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 for the equipment, the certification, the vehicle, but the hourly rate can be upwards from $300 to $600 an hour, and insurance is paying you directly in most of those cases. One person, maybe with a helper, can do anywhere from like $15,000 to $40,000 a month. So what I do like is that moat aspect. Having that kind of barrier allows you to have a competition moat. I also love that the insurance is paying you, right? So there's not really price haggling or anything like that. Now, what I don't like about it is that it's pretty much an emergency on-call situation. You could be called at 2 a.m. and you got to show up and you got to do the work. You're constantly around morbid situations, and some people will quit after a couple years because you literally can't sleep anymore after seeing everything you've seen. It's not something that is consistent in the sense of happening over and over. It's just at random, really, when you're needed. Predictability standpoint. So Biohazard is going to go in tier C. Great margins, real moat, but the lifestyle is brutal. It's probably not for most people. So this next one is the one that I actually run. It's remote home cleaning, and here's the model. You run a residential cleaning business locally, you hire independent contractor cleaners, and you connect those cleaners with clients that you get. So you can manage everything from your laptop. Startup costs, you could pretty much do everything for under $2,000 to $3,000. That covers software, LLC, insurance, initial marketing budget. On a per cleaning basis, you can charge anywhere from $150 to $300. You're getting about half of that fee. The other half is going to the cleaners. Let's say they had one cleaning every working day during the month. That's 20 cleanings per cleaner. If the cleaning itself was $200 or $300, you would be making $2,000 to $3,000 profit from each cleaner per month. Obviously, you're not going to have one cleaner, and as you start to scale things, this is where it gets really interesting from the recurring revenue aspect. Now, again, why I like it is the startup capital is the lowest on the list. You don't need a truck. You don't need an office. You don't need equipment and supplies. You don't need any special certifications. You just need skills. And those skills revolve around hiring, marketing, sales, and operations. But with remote cleaning, those skills tend to compound. It's a cash flowing asset. Now, what I don't like about the business is hiring cleaners is the hardest part. Your first cleaner is almost certainly not going to be the one that's going to be with you for a long time, and maybe even the second one too. Hiring is a skill. It becomes a business of talent acquisition and management. And once you can crack hiring, everything else is very simple if you know how to set the system up correctly. Now, if you've watched this far, you probably already know I'm going to put this on the S tier list, but I want to show you exactly why at the end of the video. In the meantime, I did put together a free guide that walks you through exactly how I built this thing from zero. No fluff, no pitch, just the system. So if you're interested, the link is in the description below if you want it. Now, remote cleaning is going to go in my S tier, right? Lowest startup cost, fully remote, recurring revenue, no physical labor. It's the only one that hits every single one of these boxes. Okay, so for this last one, this one is probably the closest thing to the remote cleaning model on this list, but with one massive catch: dumpster rental. You own the dumpsters, you rent them out, the customer calls you, you drop off the dumpster, they fill it up over 3 to 5 days, and you haul it away to a dump. Most of your job comes from construction sites, home renovations, residential cleanouts. Now, the part that's difficult is the startup costs. It usually costs $30,000 to $80,000 because you need a real truck that can handle the dumpsters. You need to also buy the dumpster. Now, on a per rental basis, you can make anywhere from $400 to $600, and each dumpster that you own can do 5 to 8 rentals per month. Margins wise, it's around 50 to 70% after the fuel, the dump fees, and the maintenance. So a solar operator could easily be doing $10,000 to $25,000 a month net. What I like about it is once the equipment is paid, the margins become excellent. What I also like is the demand is consistent, right? Construction and building and renovations, those things never stop. And the other thing is asset value is real. Let's say you want to exit this business, the dumpsters, the trucks, those are actually worth real money. Now, what I don't like about it is simply the CapEx. You need a ton of money to start before you have a real shop. Most people don't have that nor want to do that initially, especially if it's their first business. And you can't really run it remotely, right? Someone has to drive the truck. Either it's going to be you initially, or you got to hire a good driver. Also, maintenance is constant. Trucks can break down, dumpsters can get dented, hydraulics can go out. That's the real operations and logistics layer that doesn't really exist in a thing like cleaning. And with all that being said, dumpster rental is going to be in the B tier. So why did remote cleaning beat every single business that I just covered? It's not because the other businesses are bad. Most of them are great businesses, and there is an amazing success story in every single one of them. But for what I wanted, which was to run a business from anywhere with little capital requirement, with no physical labor required from day one, and recurring revenue and cash flow from day one, this business checked every single box. I've obviously helped hundreds of other people do this exact process for themselves. And these people that I've helped, they're normal people that wanted to get out of their job they don't like anymore. And to me, none of them had a special skill. They just followed a proven system. So if you saw all this and you want to see exactly how I built this from zero to running it in under 5 hours a week from my laptop, I'll show you the entire system. The link is also in the description. And if you are interested in working with my team, you can also book a call. And if it's a fit, we'll obviously walk through all of that as well. And by the way, if you did like this one, you will love this next video right here. I break down exactly how to start the #1 business on this list step by step. So watch that next one, and I'll see you on the next video.